Everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be ranking my 10 favorite debut albums. The top 10 debut albums in my collection. Now I've got a short list in front of me of about 25, so it was not easy. But I've got my 10 here, so we're going to go in reverse order, and we're going to start with number 10. And number 10 is the debut album by 10cc. Wow, there you go. 10 for 10. Yes, it's 10cc's debut album released in 1973. Big hits with Rubber Bullets and with The Dean and I, but every single song lays out their stall. Quirky, clever, imaginative songs that sometimes take a couple of listens for you to get into them, but my goodness me, once you're into them, then they stick with you. Particular favourites for me, the Hospital Song, which is hilarious. Johnny Don't Do It, a real pastiche of the 50s. Sand in My Face, where they advertise how to go on a Charles Atlas course, which was big in the 70s, where you could build up muscles so that the bullies wouldn't kick sand in your face when you're on the beach. You wouldn't lose your girl. Fantastic songs. And they just kicked on from there. So that's number 10, 10cc. At number 9, I have the wonderful Miss Bush. It's Kate's debut album, The Kick Inside. Now, any song that has the man with the child in his eyes and Wuthering Heights, that album must surely be ahead of the curve. And what can I say? It was the announcement of a unique, singular talent. Wonderful songs like the Saxophone Song, James and the Cold Gun, The Kick Inside itself, or whatever else. Oh, to Be in Love, so quirky, absolutely gorgeous. And of course, we all know what Kate went on to do after that. But to be 19 years of age and release an album like this, particularly with a song like The Man with the Child in His Eyes, which she wrote when she was 13, absolutely remarkable. So Kate's at number 9. Going across to the States for the first time, at number 8, I have Cheap Trick and their debut album called Cheap Trick from 1977. I discovered this band with In Colour, which was the second album a little bit later on this year. I bought in a little backstreet store in Pietermaritzburg in KwaZulu-Natal. I loved that album and so tried to find out as much about this band as possible. Eventually got hold of their debut album, which is in fact the best of their entire canon. It's pop punk. It's got a punk feel. It's got a hard rock feel, but it's all imbued with brilliant melodies, fantastic guitar, excellent vocals, rhythm section to knock your socks off. And this is, I guess, this isn't the most famous of the Cheap Trick albums, and of course they got huge with the live Budokan album. But the songs on this album, He's a Whore is probably my favourite pop punk song of all time. Hello Kiddies, there's numerous. It's just one adrenaline blast from start to finish. Fantastic album. I urge you, if you haven't listened to Cheap Trick's debut, to do that. So that's number 8. At number 7, we've got another adrenaline blast. From 1979, we have Pretenders and their debut album called Pretenders. I had no idea that this would be so good. I heard Brass in Pocket, the lead single, and thought, yeah, this is a good new wave song. Um, I bought the album on the strength of that, not expecting what was in store. Oh my goodness me. Chrissie Hynde, um, formidable, absolutely formidable. A songwriter, vocalist. Um, she was up front and she spoke her mind. Goodness me. All the F words were in there, but incredible melodies, incredible energy. James Honeyman Scott, may he rest in peace, one of the great new wave guitarists who died, what, within 2 years of this album being released. Great rhythm section. Pete Farndon and Martin Chambers. Of course, Pete Farndon also died, the bass player, so soon afterwards. But songs, Precious, Up the Neck. Up the Neck is incredible. Space Invader, Stop Your Sobbing, Private Life. Uh, Grace Jones had a big hit with Private Life. It all became reggae there. Brass in Pocket, of course. And then the finishing track, Mystery Achievement. 5 minutes of non-stop energy, and you just want to turn the CD or the record off and start again after that. Fantastic album. Pretenders at number 7. Back to the States at number 6. REM and their debut Murmur. Wow. We had no idea what Michael Stipe was singing about because he kind of murmured his way through the entire 11 or 12 songs on this album. So the vocals weren't very clear, but they sounded cool. But Peter Buck's guitar, his jangle, Rickenbacker type Birdsian guitar, absolutely superb. Mike Mills on bass and Bill Berry on drums. This album does not have a weak track. It is all killer, no filler. And for a debut, I couldn't believe that anything could be so, a guitar band could be so melodic. And this was the beginning of alternative music, alternative indie music. It was the songs as much as the playing, but every single song is fantastic. Catapult, Laughing, Talk About the Passion, Pilgrimage, oh my goodness me, Perfect Circle, all absolutely incredible songs. Again, an album you have to hear if you haven't heard it before. Okay, the goodies keep coming. The next great debut album is, of course, I guess you were expecting this. It's The Cars and their self-titled debut from 1978. And it's like a greatest hits, this album, and it's their first album. Good Times Roll, My Best Friend's Girl, Just What I Needed, You've All I've Got Tonight, Bye Bye Love, Moving in Stereo. Wow. I mean, this was new wave. It was pop rock, but with a bit of a hard edge. The instrumentation, well, what I really mean is the playing of the band, absolutely fantastic. Gee, goodness me. It's hard to think of a better new wave debut album ever than The Cars. And I think it was a little bit difficult to follow up. I mean, they made some beautiful stuff in the future and they had big hits in the future. But did they ever create an album that was as consistent as this first one? I don't think so. Okay. Prog people are probably saying, where's all the prog? Where? Yeah, sorry. Well, here we go. Next up, Emerson, Lake and Palmer's, again, debut eponymous album. Of all the prog albums, I think this is the most consistent. You could talk about King Crimson, but King Crimson wasn't as excellent all the way through as this album. The Barbarian, Take a Pebble, Knife Edge, those first three songs, that whole side is just 1970 prog music par excellence. And then you go into the really interesting in inverted commas stuff with the Three Fates and then Tank, which is really the kind of prog that we were all holding out for. And then you finish with a pop song called Lucky Man, but with the archetypal Moog synthesizer solo to beat all Moog synthesizer solos. And it's what made their future. What an album. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Okay, we are down to the final three. Number 3, Crosby, Stills and Nash. 1969, and I thought the Beatles were over. I thought, gosh, it's the end of the world. But then good old Graham Nash moves across from Manchester and finds David and Stephen in Laurel Canyon, and the rest of, well, time could continue. What an album. I absolutely adore this album. I still do. I adored it at the time. It felt like a breath of fresh air. Sweet Judy Blue Eyes absolutely blew me away. I'd never heard anything quite like that before. The songwriting is excellent. The harmonies are angelic. And the rest of the album just carries on that way. When you've got Helplessly Hoping and Guinevere and Marrakesh Express, 49 Bye-Byes, Wooden Ships, the list goes on and on. Again, an album that they could never really beat. The first album was the best album. They made some lovely stuff. I mean, I've been fans of all of these guys, all their careers, but this was the best one. At number 2, Steely Dan, Can't Buy a Thrill. Who would have believed that this would be the beginning of a career? It felt like it was the climax of a career. We knew it was their first album, but it would have been hard to think that they could actually top this, that they could move on to bigger and better things. But of course, they just developed themselves. They developed their songwriting and their styles. It became, of course, just the Donald and Walter show, but here they were a band. Here they had another vocalist for half the songs. And it worked. It wouldn't have worked for the future, and it's David Foster, isn't it? David Palmer. David Palmer, he gave that kind of a softer rock edge, or a lack of a rock edge, more soft rock, which was great for me because I was coming off Crosby, Stills and Nash, and I thought this is just the continuation of that. But the album is brilliant. Every single song is a Stone Cold classic. But then they follow it up with Countdown to Ecstasy and then Pretzel Logic, and things just move on and change. It doesn't mean I don't think this album isn't anything other than absolutely superb. And when you've got Reelin' in the Years and Do It Again and Brooklyn and Kings and every other song, every song stands up on its own. So that's my number 2, Steely Dan. Now, if you've seen one of my videos, you will know that what my number 1 will be. And it's not on anybody else's debut album best list at all. It'll never be featured anywhere. But for me, this debut album, I play more than any of the other debut albums. And it's by Mark Cohn, and it's just called Mark Cohn, from 1991. First track on this album is Walking in Memphis, which everybody knows. It's a brilliant song. What people don't know is that every song that follows on this album is just as good as Walking in Memphis. Just as good. The quality does not drop. It's 10 out of 10 all the way through. A lot of the songs are piano driven. The rest of the songs are acoustic guitar driven, but there's melody, there's lyrics that are so interesting. Every single song sounds wonderful, sounds wonderful on headphones, and begs you to return to listen to it again. It is an album that's in the top 10 of my all-time favourites. It's my favourite debut album by any artist. It will never be anything other than that. And I would really recommend anyone to go onto Spotify or whatever your preferred streamer is and listen to this album, Mark Cohn's debut album. It's a delight. So there we are, my top 10 debut albums. Everyone will disagree with me. You will all have your favourites. I understand that. And I'd love you to tell me what your top 10 debut album list is. I'm really keen. As I said, I had a short list of about 25, and I'm sure possibly that some of yours will be on my other shortlist. I'm not going to do honourable mentions because there'll be too many and the video will go on forever. But those are my top 10 debut albums. Please let me know yours. Please like the video if you've enjoyed it. If you've been interested by my 10 choices, please subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video, which will be tomorrow. But until then, cheers everybody.